So I have a little teaching I want to give to you tonight that I hope is really going to help us right now. To begin this new year, I want to reclaim a great Jewish therapeutic technique. I want to profusely thank Rabbi Angela Buchdahl, an amazing rabbi at Central Synagogue, who I know a bit and think is marvelous. This is her teaching. She shared it online with me and my colleagues, and I asked her if I could share it. So basically, I'm transmitting Rabbi Buchdahl's teachings with pleasure. I shared it a couple of weeks ago, and it was so helpful to all of us that I wanted to do it again when I had all of you here, wherever here is anyway. So the therapeutic technique is called the Krekhtz. Okay? That's got to be a Yiddish word, right? Can you even spell it like K-R-E-Ch-T, right? Krekhtz. You can practice at home as long as you have your mask on, I think. Okay. So, Krekhtz, it's hard to translate. So, this joke will illustrate it. Okay. If you know this joke, enjoy it and see if I tell it right. So, there are these three bubbies sitting on a park bench, and they're sitting there, and one of them first goes, "Oh," and then the second one goes, "Oh, yeah. And then the third one goes, "Oh, weiß mir Gott." And then the first one looks at them, this is her friends, and says, I thought we agreed we weren't going to talk about our children. Okay, that's the joke. So that's a Krekhtz. Now, an important distinction. A Krekhtz is not a kvetch. Okay? A kvetch is crabby, right? That's complaining. A Krekhtz is more sorrowful. It's a sigh. It's a release of pain. So give those bubbies a break, okay? I mean, they weren't kvetching about their kids. They were krechtzing. I think that's how I feel if my kids are unhappy. I just want them to be happy. Oh, yeah, I wish I could help. Ugh. And in the world today, there's a lot to krechtz about the world my children are inheriting. The krechtz is, we might say, how we Jews express the pain of the world. And as we all intuit, the Krekhtz is an integral part of Jewish culture. In 1950, the great Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel published a small monograph called "The Earth is the Lord's, the Inner World of the Jew in Eastern Europe." And it's an elegy to the lost world that he grew up in, destroyed by the Nazis. Heschel titled the first chapter, "The Sigh." And this is what he said. There were many who did not trust words, and their deepest thoughts would find expression in a sigh. Sorrow was their second soul. And the vocabulary of their heart consisted of one sound. Oy. And when there was more than the heart could say, their eyes would silently bear witness. When sorrow has been our people's second soul, the Krekhtz was our expression beyond words. The Krekhtz is even built into Jewish cantorial technique. The traditionally trained Ashkenazi cantor, Chazan, learns how to do this catch in their voice, like a sob, a little hiccup when they're chanting. You probably are familiar with it if you've ever heard any great cantors sing. You don't hear this in Italian opera. This is the quintessential Jewish sound. The actual goal of a great chazan is to make us cry. But the Krekhtz is not only the way we expressed our sorrow, it's also the way we survived our sorrow. Rabbi Nachman of Wroclaw, around 1800, he even elevated the Krekhtz to a Jewish spiritual practice. Listen to Nachman's teaching. See how precious is the Krekhtz of a Jewish person, the sigh, the groan. It provides wholeness in place of lack. For through the breath, which is the ruach, the spirit of life, the world was created, as it is written in the Psalms. And by the ruach of God's mouth, their entire hosts were created. The new renewal of the world will also come about by means of the ruach. Psalm says, 104, you will send your ruach, your breath, and they will be created, and you will renew the face of the earth. And Nachman continues, and sighing is the extension of the breath. It corresponds to erech apayim, patience, the aspect of God that is an extended breath. Therefore, when a person sighs over the lack and extends his ruach, he draws the spirit of life, the ruach of life, to that which he is lacking. For the lack is in essence a departure of the ruach of life. And so through the sigh, the lack is made whole. This is Nachman's teaching. So when we sigh, according to Reb Nachman, we experience some form of the ruach, the spirit of life, through that deep breath. For a sigh is a very deep breath. There are also medical benefits to sighing. It turns out we sigh many times an hour autonomically. It apparently serves the function of expelling old air from our lungs and helping us to maintain lung health and good oxygen levels. So it's good for you. It not only feels good, it's good for you. Okay. So what we're going to do tonight to start this new year during this miserable time is practice Krekhtsing. Okay? You're muted. Enjoy this. Ready? Now, I can't think of a better way to enter Rosh Hashanah. We're all carrying so much. So we're going to do 3 Krekhtz, 3 different flavors. Wait, I have to wet my whistle for this. For the first one, let's take a deep inhale and then make an audible exhale and pause before inhaling again. Remember, it's not a Krekhtz if you don't make any sound. Okay, ready? Oh. Very good. Now let's try another version. A deep inhale, and this time, make a yawning sound just to open our jaw and our lungs even more. Even fake a yawn, it works. It makes it into a very aerating experience. Are you ready? You feeling a little better? I hope so. Okay, let's try one more. Let's make this one, the home run Krekhtz. Okay, so we're going to do a deep inhale, and then just audible Krekhtz. And then at the end, don't breathe in right away. Pause, squeeze out whatever's left, and wait until the air rushes back in on its own. Just like Reb Nachman said, let that ruach of life just restore you. Okay, here we go. Oh. Let's do that again. Just let the pain of the world go for a minute. Ready? Oh. Who knew that Krekhtsing was a healthy spiritual practice? Now we know. All these years, we thought we were just complaining. And we were making life better. Let's do one more. Oh, gotten you. Ay, 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 what a world. Ay. can smile now. So let me quote Rabbi Buchdahl. When you sigh, think about Heschel's words, that when we cannot trust our own articulation of words to express our deepest thoughts, let the Krekhtz express what your words cannot. Know that your sigh will unlock your breath and allow the Ruach Elohim, the spirit of the universe, to enter and renew your body and your soul. Maybe it will save us. So now in this new year, when you have heard and absorbed the pain of the world, as we're all doing, sigh it out.